Welcome to another edition of your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show.
Question is, did she subscribe?
Right.
She's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
What up? She repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What up? Happy hump day.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on the highlight reel tape. And we're glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions
And millions.
of the platform sports talk show fans on once again your Wednesday night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or
Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with
There you go.
97 million. There you go.
all you hear is this.
Always somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say
Don't
straight.
have me tear up on here.
Come on now, don't hit me tear up. You know I get emotional.
But people watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Ms. Williams, saying welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? How, Ms. Williams?
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful. Because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the platform sports talk show or its sponsors.
What is going on, everybody? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show, a special holiday edition. This is the season, officially, the holiday season, where a lot of people, including myself, more than likely over the next month, will gain some weight because it's going to be a whole lot of food all around, no matter if it's your house, your mama house, your daddy house, your people's house. It's going to be crazy, but it's going to be a lot of love and a lot of festive vibes going on. And it starts right now, as tomorrow is officially Thanksgiving. So, from the Platform Sports Talk Show fam, happy Thanksgiving, happy holiday season to each and every one of y'all. Thank you all for tuning in once again to your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the most consistent sports talk show on a Wednesday night. And we will not disappoint you again. Take this time right now to share this stream, no matter if you're on Facebook, if you're on football, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Go ahead and like and share this stream. The stream. I am not alone, of course. It's gonna be a two-man show for a minute. I'll explain just a second, but he's holding it down right now in U City. He went to Normandy High School, also attended Kentucky State University, HBCU, been doing big things in Orlando. And once again, he's back home holding things down in the U City. T-Bone, what's happening, brother?
Hey, glad to be here. Happy to be here, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you all out there watching us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
You already know, man. And I showed T-Bone earlier, but, we doing big things here at the Saunders Experience. And just want y'all to see what we got going on. The wifey did an incredible job getting the decorations and everything going on the table as we get ready to bring in family from out of town, from here in the Louvre. It's going to be very cool experience. By this time tomorrow, it's going to be packed. It's going to be fun. We're going to be very, 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 very full and have a great time down here at the Saunders Experience. We're going to have them drinks ready, as you see, but it's going to be a lot of fun vibes going on here at the Saunders Experience. T-Bone, how you feel about Thanksgiving coming up tomorrow, man?
This will be probably the first Thanksgiving that I didn't actually cook myself in I don't know how many years now. I think the last time I didn't cook on Thanksgiving was probably 2006. So, I'm ready to go out there and do the food tour and come back home for leftovers. Although, spoiler, I will be cooking Friday. What I would have been cooking Thursday.
See, I get it. So you don't cook on the day everybody wants you to cook, in regards to, that turkey day. But when everybody's full, then you want to go ahead and cook.
Well, all I'm saying is, there's a lot of cooking going on Thursday. That's a lot of competition, all right? Hey, you can't be called T-Bone and not be able to cook. You know what I'm saying? Like,
tell her T-Bone. Shouts out to the wifey in the comment saying Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, so happy Thanksgiving to you too. That's a beautiful setup that you got out there at the house. But yeah, I've been cooking. I've been cooking since I was in college. Like those last couple of years when I couldn't leave. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Miss Williams. Those last couple of years when I couldn't leave, when I had to work. Like, look, there was gonna be some Thanksgiving had, so I was gonna have it.
Yeah, buddy. And as T-Bone said before, happy Thanksgiving to Miss Williams. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, everyone, share the stream right now. Give your likes, give all the love. Let's get this thing popping with as many fun topics as we will discuss this evening. Unfortunately, Joe cannot be on this evening as she's dealing with not one, but two people at the household that's a little bit sick. So she would not be on, but I'll have something getting ready for y'all very soon. But T-Bone, if you don't mind, let everybody know about the Sports Talk Show and where they can find us and show us love.
Well, I know that's a lot of y'all looking out there on YouTube right now. I don't see the numbers, but I know y'all out there. So when y'all watching on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We need it. It's a need. It's necessary. It keeps us going. It gets YouTube to know that, hey, people are out there watching and they're engaged. So go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and hit that subscribe. And also go ahead and make sure that you hit that
bell.
That's right. That way when we go live, you will be
notified.
Right. Now, hey, for those of y'all that can't catch us live, some of y'all may be watching on YouTube right now. And, y'all can't always catch us on a Wednesday because this might be a regular work night. Hey, y'all can catch the replay on Roku because we're out there too. That's right. We're on Roku. And hey, maybe y'all want to listen, don't want to see our faces for whatever reason. Hey, check us out on Hot 365 Radio because it's always hot out there. You can catch all our Wednesday shows on there, the full shows nowadays. And, you'll be able to catch us out, hot365radio.com. Now, hey, let's talk about what we normally have here. We got the first Wednesday of the month. We've got Ladies Night. Hey, it's a panel of ladies out there that know a little bit about sports too. You know what I'm saying? They're out here giving their opinions. So check out what they have to say. And hey, the last Wednesday of the month, we got the Man Cave. And with the Man Cave, you get that same type of opinions, except from the man's point of view. I mean, it's a little bit different. Lots of diverse opinions out there. I get the feeling Craig Black will be got something to say to me next week, but getting ready for it. But all right. But hey, you know what though? December's coming, and I know y'all think Christmas when y'all think December, but you know what? I got something else for y'all to think about. How about the Super Show? That's right. We got Ladies Night in the Man Cave pairing up together. The Super Show, not once, got to do it twice. December 7th, December 28th. It's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a lot of us talking to each other who you've never heard from. What do each other's opinions sound like? You'll have to tune in and find out. That's right. December 7th, December 28th, the Man Cave and Ladies Night Super Show. Check it out. Hit that subscribe button right now and hit that bell so you won't miss out.
There it is. Got a lot going on, y'all. So there's no reason that you can't experience some way, somehow, the platform Sports Talk Show. So thank you very much, T-Bone. Let's get right into it. Normally we have our topic starting off with, what sports story, what has your attention? What sports story or stories has your attention? But because it's the holiday season, let's do it right. And what are you thankful for? T-Bone, you go first.
I mean, look, let's look at the big picture here. I'm happy to be back in town. I'm happy to be back in St. Louis. I was actually just telling my wife while we were driving, coming back from the store, I was like, you know what? I'm happy to be home. I'm happy to be here. So I'm thankful that I have a chance to be here, relive my childhood memories through my own child's eyes now. He's going to get to see all the stuff that I did and hopefully way more too. But I'm also thankful for the 49ers being in first place of the NFC West. Yep, absolutely. Sure am. But, y'all saw that coming, all of you. And I had to get that in before who gets here. So,
right. Get it in now.
All the way at the top of the division, that's where we at. That's where it looks like we're going to be for the foreseeable future. I looked at the schedule last week and plotted out all the points. The graph looks like it, it tracks. It's got the perfect slope-intercept form for us to go up to the top. Yeah, I used that Algebra 2 out there. So, but ultimately, thankful for family, thankful for health, and just thankful to be, back in town, back in stride again.
Back in stride again. That's what's up.
We played college too.
Right. That's what's up, man. And for myself, I just definitely first have to say I'm thankful that at this time, almost last week, I turned 41 years old. So it just at this time, you just never know. With so much going on in this world, to be able to say I'm here to make it to 41 years old, it's definitely a blessing. So I'm thankful to be alive and well, and to be in front of each and every one of y'all on the platform Sports Talk Show. Definitely want to say I'm thankful for my wife, Jamie, who's tuned in right now. Left a comment earlier, my SA Dub, I love you, and I'm so thankful every day, every minute, every second. You already know how much I appreciate you. To my mom, she's probably watching as well. Thank you. I'm thankful for you as well. Thankful just for all the blessings that has been bestowed amongst me, amongst myself, to my family, to my friends. Thankful as well for each and every one of y'all. I'm thankful to the Sports Talk Show crew, everyone from the Man Cave to Ladies Night, you T-Bone, who's on the show right now, to Bunny, to Joe, who's the regulars on the main show. For y'all just to for y'all believing in me, in my vision, and how this show has just gone from just me and Sadal to now we're just doing really big things. And to all the special guests that we have had on the show over these last 5 years, it's truly been a blessing for me to be able to go out to different places and folks know me from the sports talk show, want to get on and et cetera, et cetera. It's definitely a blessing. So during this time, just thankful and grateful for all the blessings that has been around me, and I appreciate y'all. So, up next, Bunny, as you see, is not here tonight. She is, she can explain for herself why she isn't here, but we did say last week that she won't be on last week and this week. But she did leave some nice words to say, so let's check it out.
Happy pre-Thanksgiving, everyone. It's your girl, Bunny. So I am sending my Thanksgiving blessings to everyone that is a viewer, a listener, or proud supporter of the Platform Sports Talk Show. I appreciate every single one of you all. I'm thankful for you all. Just to think, I joined in the middle of the pandemic of the Platform Sports Talk Show, and a year and a half later, I am still here. So I'm thankful for this opportunity to share my crazy thoughts, my laughter, my everything with you all. Thankful for all the support and viewers and listeners and commenters of the Platform Sports Talk Show. I also want to give a special thankfulness for my family. I'm not joining the show today because today is my baby girl's 1-year birthday. So shout out to baby Sanai. She's 1 year old. So I'm thankful for her. Thankful for Sasha. Thankful for my husband, Chris. So I'm thankful for them. And of course, the Platform Sports Talk Show for giving me a voice to talk all crazy and interesting things about sports. I want to give blessings to everyone. Everyone have a thankful and safe Thanksgiving. Mwah!
There we go. Shouts out to Bunny for taking time to make that video. Miss Williams, says she is thankful for good friends, a wonderful son. Shouts out to Ed, a job that she loves, and reasonably good health. I feel blessed. Amen. And once again, we said that Joe couldn't be on, but in the very last moment, in the clutch, like the Houston Astros, she came through and had this to say.
Hey guys, just wanted to do a little quick video for what I'm thankful for 2022. So much has happened this past year. I'm very thankful for my amazing family, my beautiful daughter, Mia Ramona, my amazing, hot, sexy husband, Brendan. I'm thankful that we got a new house, moved in, we're settling in. Very thankful that we're able to do that, to move into bigger and better things. Thankful for these guys right here. Just got my Astros World Series beanie in today. Thankful for just everyone in my family, my mom. And I gotta say, I'm extremely thankful for the Platform Sports Talk Show. Fred, you're the man. This is something I always look forward to every Wednesday. Sorry I couldn't be there today. Gotta take care of a sick baby and husband. But I love you guys, and I'm extremely thankful for you guys.
We appreciate that, Joe. That definitely means a lot to me. I know, T-Bone, you feel the same?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm it's always good when you can hear positivity. You know what I mean? We get that every week, but just the positive vibes that we get every week here. So, I think that's just another thing to be thankful for. We got somewhere that, we joke around, but I mean, look, this is probably one of the most positive things that positive things on the internet these days. So I'm
Exactly.
glad for it.
And that was one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that was done since I started this show, was when everything else is going crazy in the world, at least between the hours of 7 to maybe 10 o'clock sometimes, you'll be around positivity watching the platform sports talk show, because that's what we all about. We may have our disagreements in regards to certain topics or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's a family vibe every time. To be able to have as many people as this show has brought on over the last 5 years, from the ladies to all the fellas, but it's family. There's no hate, there's no negativity. We're all about just coming together for these Wednesdays, which I can't wait for the Super Show. But for us just to bond and have a good time and really just enjoy each other. We actually have a genuine friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood, just a family, and that's what it's all about. So we want to thank you all, Miss Williams, for you being our number one fan. We thank you very much for all the love that you have shown us. And once again, everyone who's watching the show right now, get them likes going, get them shares. Let's keep it up right now. Let's go here and talk about the St. Louis Blues real quick. Normally, Joe covers. Joe has the Blues. And man, it's been some turnaround, T-Bone, over these last 2 weeks. The Blues had an 8-game losing streak. Now, if they win tonight, they will have an 8-game winning streak. What a crazy turnaround and streaky season this Blues team has had. What are your thoughts?
Well, let's hope they can turn things around. Oh, it's they only in the second. Okay, they got plenty of time. Look, I think when we first talked about this a few weeks ago, when they were still on the losing streak, I was like, you know what? It's better to get all these kinks and stuff worked out at the beginning of the season, because you never know when things can turn around. And look at that. It was almost like right after that episode is when they started winning, and they hadn't stopped and still haven't stopped. Hopefully things will turn around tonight. But I mean, look, it's bet like when we talk about the Cardinals, sometimes we talk about how they'll get on the streak, but maybe the streak was at the wrong time, and then like this past season, they kind of slumped into the postseason. They weren't on fire, like to use the NBA Jam reference. They were.
He's on fire.
Yeah, but they peaked early, and things just kind of went downhill, and you could kind of see the writing on the wall as you were looking towards the end of the season. And I know that there's plenty of hockey to be played, but maybe that was that first stretch where they were losing. Maybe that's what they needed to get out of their system. Now they got everything organized. Because I mean, how many new people are on the team this year? I mean, I know it's a few. It's not. I mean, it's still got.
I think I want to say that we had more newer people on the team last year. I could be wrong. Maybe if Joe's watching, she can comment. I know that we had to replace, David Perron, trying to get someone to fill his shoes. Maybe not all the way, but just be a nice piece, for guys like Ryan O'Reilly. But it's mainly been the step up that we're hoping for guys like Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyber, who can take that next step and be like, you know what, we are the new wave. Let's go ahead and take over, this team. And as you were just saying earlier, new season, it's hard to judge a team by the first 2-3 weeks of the season because they're still trying to figure things out. Plus, you have some injuries as well. And when you're changing the whole culture of the team, the different lines that hockey, has, you're trying to find out the best chemistry, And I think now that they went through that adversity, losing 8 in a row, and they still stuck it out. They still believe in each other. Craig Berube, head coach of the Blues, he stayed firm in regards to his message. If y'all just do what I tell y'all, play this certain style, we're going to be all right. And now we're right there in the thick of things. And it hasn't been, a whole, full month yet, I don't believe. Or maybe it has. But like I said, they're in a much better place now.
Yeah. I mean, in the conference, let's see where they're at. I mean, look, they went from being completely down to like right now they'd be in the playoffs already. You know,
Yep.
so and it's not like it's a huge difference between them and everybody else because they got what 10 wins, and most of the people in the conference either have 10 or 11 wins, unless they're not Vegas, but Vegas has 15, but it's not like they're too far away from that. Like it's definitely within reach. It's not like the NFL where 5 games is almost like game over.
Right. And as Joe would just had on the comment, she would just telling B, her husband, that this year she can't tell who is who by the numbers anymore. A lot of new faces. Yeah. Like I said, that's just the thing about transitioning from, players you've had for a long time to now trying to transition to a different phase. The same way that the Cardinals are slowly getting into now that Yachty and Pujols is gone. Then, of course, next year would be Wayno's last year. So I look forward to how these organizations are going to embrace the change of not having those mainstays anymore, and to see how it's going to, if they're going to have a fallback, a big setback, or will they keep things moving? Some teams like to rebuild, other teams like to reload, so which one will it be? And it looks like for right now, the Blues are reloading. And shouts out to the staff, Doug Armstrong, the president of hockey operations, and how the team they reload. They don't want to do a whole rebuild or be the last, be a first top pick in the draft so they can whatever. They want to stay top tier. You know what I'm saying, in regards to the standing. So
sound like you were describing the Orlando Magic.
Always getting those top picks to draft,
top 3, top 4. I think what's crazy. Out of all the years since Dwight Howard left, I think this year was the first year that they got the number 1 pick. Out of all those years, which is crazy to me.
I believe that could be true. I might have to do some checking on that. Cause I know they said, yeah, you're right. Cause I think wasn't Shaq the number 1 pick?
Yeah,
for the Magic. Yeah, Shaq, Dwight, and then Paolo Banchero. So, but yeah, once again, shouts out to the Blues, and let's keep it up. Let's keep winning. Adversity is gonna come again, possibly, but at the end of the day, let's get to the big dance, the playoffs, and let's hope for health. Because as long as Jordan Bennington is healthy, that team is going to go a long way. And they may make some moves in the trade deadline to get maybe that one score that they need. So definitely stay tuned for that. In Major League Baseball, the gold standard. The gold standard. A minute. Let me take this off and try this again because I didn't have it up here correctly. Let's see. Boom and boom. There we go. Now I'm ready. The gold standard in the NL and the judge of the AL. And what do I mean? Bam! National League MVP, St. Louis Cardinals own Paul Goldschmidt. So congratulations to Paul Goldie. And in the American League, representing the New York Yankees, Aaron Judge. I think for me, it was a no-brainer for both people. Incredible performances by both these guys. It's just great for St. Louis to be able to celebrate an MVP. First time that we have celebrated one, I believe, since Albert Pujols. And it was also pretty ironic and cool how Albert Pujols gave the announcement live to Paul Goldschmidt and his family, saying congrats that you won the MVP. So outstanding season for Goldie. He did, of course, slow down in September and October, but what he did throughout the whole season, it was incredible. Shouts out to him. Your thoughts real quick on Paul Goldschmidt holding things down for the Cardinals and being the NL MVP.
I mean, it seemed like it was probably the most expected thing out of the whole awards, right? Like, I think that was pretty much what everybody was expecting. And glad for it. Who was the last? You said the last one was it Pujols? The last MVP that we had? Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, I'm glad that it's another Cardinal. I just hope that next year he takes his MVP status and elevates and not just rests on it. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to be that guy, at least until we get another guy. He's got to be that guy next year to step up. He's got to be that leader. He's got to be that clutch hitter. Can't have what we had in the playoffs. He's got to be the go-to guy. So, or maybe the guy next to him could be the go-to guy if we're lucky.
He's a free agent. You are correct, and that's Aaron Judge, and a remarkable season, leading pretty much almost all the offensive big-time categories for the Yankees. Almost had a triple crown. Amazing batting average, home runs, and RBIs. I mean, just amazing season. Some people may say, well, what about Shohei? I cannot disagree. I cannot argue that, should I say, because for him to have 30-something home runs in regard to Shohei, 30-something home runs, be one of the best pitchers in all of baseball as well, just a unicorn. I can't argue him being the MVP as well, but Aaron Judge, I think he just really set things apart, and with this team winning as well and being that catalyst for the team to be winning in New York. I just think he just had that edge a little bit more in regards to winning the AL MVP. And our previous guest on the Sports Talk Show, William Vance Corey, says Judge is going to get paid. And yes, he is. The question is, where? He is currently in San Fran being wooed by the Giants. Word is that Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors, he's trying to, use his magic to get Aaron Judge to come to the Bay Area. Of course, the Yankees want to see about re-signing him as well. Maybe the Cardinals may have interest. I just want to see, like I said before, T-Bone, even if you don't get him, I at least just want to see some effort by the Cardinals. The Cardinals are in the works of talking, whatever. I just want to see something that we related to Aaron Judge. That's all I want to see.
So was he invited to the Thanksgiving Day parade, or? Well, when's he coming? When's he coming to town? Like,
I sent him a DM. He just haven't responded back yet. But from the Cardinals, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea.
I mean, look, you got a guy like that. At least for the fans, you need to at least entertain it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, I would have sent the invite to. I would have paid for him to come. If I'm the Cardinals, I would have said, "Hey, man, look at this Thanksgiving Day parade we have out here, and just see what it could be like if you were a Cardinal." You know what I mean? Like, any type of thing you can get him out here for. Just see the environment, because I think a lot of people, when they think about St. Louis, yes, the Cardinal name carries a lot of weight, but I think some people just need to come to St. Louis and see the city and talk to some of the players like Pujols who have been here. I think that changes a lot of things when they see it firsthand.
Right. So, like I said, we just want to see the Cardinals entertain any kind of offer. Say they've been looking into it. We just want to hear Aaron Judge and the Cardinals in the same sentence. Okay, that's all we want to hear.
And a Brinks truck too.
Right. Cha-ching. That's all. Hold on. Matter of fact, there we go. That's all.
That would be my marketing pitch. Be like, Aaron Judge, meet St. Louis. Hey, look at Busch Stadium. And then when he's in the box, you see, hey, I think we got a special guest coming here. And you have the Brinks truck, man, backed up on the field, home plate. Like,
right.
All this is for you.
It's that simple. So I want to show you for those who are watching the show and be like, I wonder how a sports talk show broadcast goes every now and then from my point of view. So I just want to give y'all a little quick little view of how things looking. So as you see, that's the setup. Got the huge 47-inch curved screen going on with different things going. See, you're right there in the middle. That's y'all watching me. You know what I'm saying? Then I got the games going on here, SLU playing. Then I got Boston Celtics playing the Mavericks over here. So even while doing the show, I'm still trying to watch as much sports as I can just to make sure I stay up to date. Then I got my news going on over here, some notes going on over here, people trying to contact me or whatever over here. And for those on Hot 365 radio listening, real nice and clear, right here is the dial. So, hey, as a producer, I stay busy, but this is what I love to do because we all about trying to provide the best content every Wednesday for the rest of your lives. Bottom line. So that's in regards to baseball. Now, when you thought he didn't have enough awards already, Pujols gets another award as now he was named as the NL Comeback Player of the Year, along with Justin Verlander representing the American League. So once again, Pujols is the National League representative for NL Comeback Player of the Year, and Justin Verlander, I know Joe is happy, probably doing a backflip right now, for Houston Astros' own Justin Verlander in the AL Comeback Player of the Year. Just an amazing season once again for both guys, but definitely in our eyes for what Albert Pujols has done for the Cardinals. And a lot of people haven't even brought this up, T-Bone, but we already knew that he was a very, clutch player, and he shines in pressurized moment. That's why he's the guy. Having him to but getting to the top 4 in regards to the all-time home run list, getting 700. But people tend to forget that right before the start of the season, Albert Pujols had some personal issues going on. He and his now ex-wife, they filed for divorce. And for certain people, that can really take a huge toll on someone mentally, and it can affect them physically as well. But he did not let his personal life affect his professional life in regards to him still being a productive person for the Cardinals. So going and of course, sports, they say it's like 30% physical and 70% mental. That mental is very, 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 very important in sports, because if you don't have it up here, it don't matter how strong you are or how talented you are, it's not going to show when you play on the court, on the field, on the hockey rink, or whatever it is, if you're not there right here. So shouts out to Pujols for what he has gone through and still been able to do what he did this past year.
Yep. And, if he would have been a certain Tampa Bay quarterback, he would have been saying, I'm never going to retire. So maybe we should have had that mentality for Pujols.
Right. And Ms. Williams says, I think that's appropriate for Pujols. Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, just to go through so much adversity in his personal life, and then to still try to hit a certain number in baseball, and you do that and more, incredible. So shouts out
were you
to.
surprised that he hit the 700? I mean, once you got into the season, like about halfway, did you think he was going to do it?
For a minute, and Joe would tell you this, for a minute, especially I think before the All-Star break, I was to a point where he was like, he ain't going to do it because he wasn't hitting the ball. It just, the power wasn't there. But then All-Star break happened, and he started feeling that love from his peers, from all of baseball, and he was in a home run derby, and all of a sudden, the second half he just boom. But at first I was like, maybe it's time for him to go. And what's crazy is that there was a report that he really considered retiring during the season because he had such a slow start, and he wasn't doing what he felt he should be doing, that he wasn't pushing his own weight. So he thought about leaving the team, but the All-Star festivities changed everything, and then he just launched to beast mode. 2009 and 10 or whatever, Pujols, he just got crazy with it. So I was definitely for a minute like, oh no, man, maybe he's hurting the team than helping us.
I think it is, it's something with some great players out there where, especially when they get later in their career where it looks like they're starting to slump and everything. And it seems like that's something with great players is where when they get towards the end, they really pull it out. Like, remember Kobe in his, what was it? How many did he score in his last game? Like 60.
Yeah, he had 60-something points. Yep.
Yeah. Peyton Manning, remember his last season? He was hurt. Things weren't going all that great. Got into the playoffs, won. And he's like, I'm out. Didn't Jordan in his last season, he wasn't, I mean, he was never terrible, but I think in his last season, didn't he kind of go through a rough patch and then towards the end, like, it was like, hey, here's Michael Jordan again? I can't remember specifically with him, but I know it was the case with like Peyton Manning, Kobe. There's a few other people that I can't think of off the top of my head, but that seems to be like a thing about like great players where it's like, it may look like they're done, but when they know they're getting towards the end, they really pull it out and show you, hey, I'm still here. I just can't do it every day.
Right. It's kind of like, let me just remind you all just who the F I am.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Right. So, like I said, that's what greatness is all about. Even right now, maybe Sadal may not like this, but even with someone like Tom Brady, he's going through a whole lot right now. But what the Bucks have won their last 2-3 games. Not saying he's back to old Brady, but the team is right in the thick of things, which we'll see very soon in our standings. But he got his groove back, and the team is right there, and it's all about just getting in. So you just never know, but you can't just say, "Oh, well, they're down in the bottom now. See you later, Brady." Might as well go ahead and retire. No, he's like I said, he's not playing MVP caliber level, but he's doing just enough to be right there in the thick of things.
Well, you set me up for that. You say he got his groove back. I'm thinking in my head, maybe in more ways than one. I mean, he's in Florida. He's
Yep, that's true. That's true. He definitely could be getting his groove back in a lot of different ways now that he's a single man. But we shall see in regards to the upcoming months. So the MLB the National Baseball Hall of Fame, they have their guys here who's on the ballot, and the people that's in blue are the new nominees, people who can be voted in regards to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. I'll name out a few names here. Bronson Arroyo, Carlos Beltran, you may recall who he is, T-Bone. Matt Cain, R.A. Dickey, Jacoby Ellsbury, Andre Ether, J.J. Hardy, John Lackey, former Cardinal as well, Mike Napoli, Johnny Peralta, another former Cardinal, Francisco Rodriguez, call him K-Rod, Houston Street, Jared Weaver, Jason Wirt from the Phillies, and of course in the black are guys who have been on the ballot for quite some time now. This may be the year that St. Louis Cardinals, Scott Rowland, may be inducted to the Hall of Fame. He was about, I think, 70-something% last year. And normally, if you are around 70-something% the previous year, the next year it's like pretty much a shoe-in. But you got guys like him, Alex Rodriguez, Jimmy Rollins, Gary Sheffield, Billy Wagner, Manny Ramirez probably won't get in. Todd Helton has a good chance. Mark Burley from St. Louis or from Illinois, but definitely from the local area. Torrey Hunter, Andrew Jones, Jeff Kent may get in. And you have Bobby Abreu as well. So a nice list, but it's definitely good to go ahead and get in now because coming up soon, you're going to have these other guys who's going to be probably shoe-ins, being the first-time ballot Hall of Famers. So it's going to be very important to go in and get guys like Scott Rowland in right now before other guys start, creeping in. Like, oh, he definitely getting in. Oh, this guy here. So anyone on the list you see that should be a shoe-in for getting in, this year or next season?
Look, I'm over here trying to find my Scott Rowland baseball card from when he was with the Phillies. So, but I mean, a shoe-in. I don't know if any of these are shoe-ins, and honestly, with a lot of these guys, like a Gary Sheffield is a name that I obviously know. I probably have a few of his out there too, but I wasn't watching enough of everybody else at the time to know for sure. Like, oh, this is a definite Hall of Famer versus, well, it's just a name that I know who's in a bunch of commercials. But I mean, look, if you're from St. Louis, you got to hope that Carlos Beltran and Scott Rowland. I don't know about Lackey because he was only here for how many years? I mean,
yeah, for like 2 seasons, but I don't see him as a Hall of Famer, not first ballot anyway. And he was more so known for what he did in the postseason too.
yeah. But I mean, Rowland, how long did he play? It was a while. Because if I had a baseball card of his, that was before he was a Cardinal.
He played for a minute. I can look him up while you keep on going over the other names real quick.
But yeah, I'm trying to see who else I could think of. I mean, I don't think Alex Rodriguez is going to get in for reasons, just because he's associated with steroids. So I just don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Roland played 17 years. He played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a guy that I would think, because again, him from those Cardinals years, and like I said, I know he had a decent career before then too. So, obviously, like I said, Beltran, Rowland, those are the ones I really hope for. The other ones, I mean, hopefully they get in at some point. Manny Ramirez, yeah.
Yep. But and also what gets me is when you see these names, it's like, man, I'm getting old. These guys who you recall seeing them in their prime and everything, and rooting for them, and now they, gray hair, gray beard, or no hair, and whatever it is, it's like, man, I'm getting old.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of times it just with sports in general, when you see some guys, you're like, man, I can't even recognize that guy. That's not the guy I watched growing up, is it? You're like, yeah. And then it'd be like, yeah, wait till you my age.
Right. So once again, this is your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth, and right over here, wait a minute. Over here we have
T-Bone.
There it is. Let's go ahead and get right into some role play. So y'all know what it is. One person is the interviewer, the other person is the interviewee, and we just have some fun with it the best that we can. So T-Bone, hope you're ready, because you are the pretty boy from the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo. How you doing on this fine Wednesday? Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you, Smooth. Fantastic show you have out here, and I hope the listeners, viewers, hope that they go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That'd be nice. But anyway, hey, I'm doing pretty well for a backup quarterback, don't you think?
Jimmy G, do you really feel that coming to the season, you should have been called the backup quarterback after what you've done over the last few years with San Fran?
Oh, no, Smooth. You tell me. I mean, hey, but you know what? I'll take it. You know what? Because nobody saw it coming. They all thought, oh, there's this other guy. He's going to be fantastic. And then, he goes down with injury. Who they want to call? Not Ghostbusters. They call him Jimmy G, okay? They call him me. And you know what? Hey, y'all can talk all y'all want about me. Oh, well, he's just not dynamic enough. Can we trust him enough? I mean, hey, guys, I'm in first place right now. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing out there? Stephen A. Smith, I heard what you had to say. Okay? I heard what you had to say, Stephen A. But you know what? You said the same thing about Alex Smith, too. And you know what? He was fantastic. And so am I. So forget you, Stephen A.
Jimmy G, do you feel that a lot of people only see you for your looks and maybe who you've dated in your past than what you do on the field?
Well, hey, Tom isn't the only one who can get his groove back. You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, I yes, indeed. I feel like, people just see me, they see I have a nice beard, a nice smile, right? They think, oh, is he really a quarterback? I mean, but you know what? I get a lot of criticism because people don't take me seriously. It's like unless you come out here and people talk about mistakes that I make, like, oh, can you trust this guy? Could you trust Brett Favre on or off the field? Anyway,
Not now.
but look at guys like that. Look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Oh yeah, they can make all these dynamic plays a percentage of the time. Let's put Eli Manning in there too. All these people talk about highly, but you know what? They look at me and I make a couple mistakes in a couple games, and they're like, "Oh, this man sucks." Yeah, I've also just been to a Super Bowl and a couple NFC Championship games. Not like I've ever done anything, but no, unless I'm out here throwing the ball 40 yards deep, 50 yards deep, people don't want to take me seriously like these other guys. I really don't understand it. Game manager? Well, I'm a pretty good manager for a backup quarterback that's in first place right now. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm not trying to be hostile. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying.
But I think one of the biggest knocks that people see is, yes, you'll take them to a certain level, even the Super Bowl, but then when the pressure is on, you always tend to make that one big mistake, like you did against the Rams in the NFC Championship game last year, through an interception. I believe he did something similar in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs at that time. Do you think now that you're at that type of level where those big mistakes are now gone?
Again, I give you examples from the past. These are things that Aaron Rodgers, these are things that Brett Favre, every good quarterback, every great quarterback who has been in those games, by the way, it's 32 teams in the league, and there's only 2 teams that's in those games, in those Super Bowls. It's only 4 teams that are in championship games. Okay, I'm one of 4 quarterbacks or one of 2 quarterbacks at a given time left in the league. So apparently I've done something right. But you know what? When we talk about, you know what? Thank you, Miss Williams. Kurt Warner was a backup quarterback, and he did a fine job that year, and I will do the same thing in my backup role. But hey, all I'm saying is that people look at a very small sample size and say, oh, look at all these mistakes he's made. It's 2 games, people. It's 2 games. Every great quarterback who's been to multiple of those games has probably made that mistake at some point. But see, all it takes is one time, because you know what? This year, when we go to the Super Bowl and when we win in the Super Bowl, all y'all are going to forget about those last 2 games. And y'all going to talk about how great Jimmy G is. And I'm going to say, yeah, told you so.
And last question I have for you. And once again, we do have Jimmy Garoppolo on the Platform Sports Talk Show right now. But my last question is, you are going to be a free agent after the season. Do you see yourself going back to San Fran, or has there been too much damage done because they didn't have trust in you to come in as a starting quarterback for this season?
You think I'm going to be the free agent? You think it's going to be me? You think that I'm going to take this team? I'll tell you what, I may be a free agent, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a starting job. And if I had to be a betting man on myself, that starting job is going to be right here in Santa Clara, California. That's where our stadium is for all of you all who aren't local. But I can tell you that when I get done with this season, people are going to say, oh, that's the guy who reminded us of Tom Brady. That's the guy who studied with Bill Belichick. That's the guy who went undefeated in his first season as a 49er. You know, in the games that I played, I came mid-season. But they're going to say, that's the guy that we want on the team, and they're going to forget about the other guy. And that guy may be playing with the Cleveland Browns next year. So sorry for his career. But, you know, all I'm saying is that even if it's not in San Francisco, I'm going to have the pick of the litter. And hopefully it won't be in Washington, D.C. That's at you, Craig Black. But I think that next year people are going to see a whole new side of me, because I will have a Super Bowl ring to show off when I go for my interviews.
Oh, okay. Jimmy G talks some big stuff, but I appreciate your time, Jimmy G. Thank you for taking time. I know you have a lot of fun out there where you are right now, and probably getting your groove on after we get done with the interview. But thank you for your time, Jimmy G.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, all of y'all out there listening, this is a fantastic show. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It sounds like this should be the show everybody listens to. It's the most important show in sports today.
I love it. That was Jimmy G on the platform, Sports Talk Show. T-Bone, who do you have as our guest?
Oh, it looks like our guest is someone who I wonder how much they have to be thankful for. Looks like LeBron James. Is LeBron James with us?
Yo,
oh,
how you doing?
Well,
pleasure to be here, T-Bone.
And well, we finally face to face, Mr. James.
Yep, I'm ready for you.
Is it King James? Is it Mr. James? What do we call you these days?
Right now, you can call me King James.
All right, King. How's the kingdom doing these days? How's Laker Nation?
Man, to be honest, it hasn't been a start that we wanted, but we can't be surprised because we have a new coach. We had some younger guys on the team, and we had to get to a point that some of y'all may call him street clothes, but the way he's been playing recently, Anthony Davis has been showing out, and he's finally doing the job that I've been wanting him to do, and that's make this team not just be my team, but his team. So we may have lost last night. I know Pat Beverly went a little bit too crazy against DeAndre Ayton, going a little bit overboard, but I like that he showed that we're not no punks. The season is still young. I'm recovering from a groin injury, but I am still the king, and y'all gonna know why by the end of the season.
Okay. All right. Good answer there. I have to ask, let's be honest. I mean, these past couple seasons, they have not been what you probably wanted. Things haven't gone downhill. And I guess as a player, that might not all be on you. But, I mean, I think it's safe to say that you have a lot of influence on how this team is constructed. What do you think has gone wrong?
See, a lot of people get this misconstrued, and of course, that's how it is when you're so great. When you are the king, a lot of people want to come for the king, and I have embraced that. I'm used to that, so I don't mind that. People say how the roster is made up right now, but you don't hear people saying how the Lakers won 2 years ago. No one's talking about all that. And how I went to 3 different organizations and eventually won a championship. But everyone wanted to harbor over the losses. The reality is, look at my age and the miles that I have. Been in the season for over 20 years. I'm not getting any younger. I shouldn't be that guy like I used to be. That's why it's very important for Anthony Davis to step up to the plate and do his thing. But one thing that people will not say about me is that I don't galvanize the troops. People will not say I'm not a leader. People will not say that when they play with me that that chemistry was an issue. People are gonna know that I'm giving my all, and I will always stand up for my teammates. I'm not the GM of the team. I may have some influence, but don't get it twisted and think that I will let go of certain guys to bring in another guy and the team gets worse. It's not all on me. I was told by management that they're going to do the best they can to provide me with guys that's going to be very complimentary pieces for the team that I'm on. So once again, yes, it's still young in the season, but Laker Nation, we got y'all. As long as I'm healthy, down the road, we're going to make some noise.
Now, I mean, I do have to push back a little bit on there because I have seen some interviews over the past few years when things weren't going well. I've heard you in press conferences kind of call out your other teammates and, sticking up for them, but you called them out in press conferences. I mean, you got to understand how maybe some of your teammates wind up playing on eggshells, for lack of better words, because they know that if they're on a team with you, that it seems like they're kind of in a no-win situation, because if things go well, you get the credit. If things go bad, they let you down. I mean, do you feel like you may help feed into that narrative?
No. And the reason why is that the moment that you sign an NBA contract, you should already be on eggshells, because everyone has that one goal, and that's to be in a situation that I have been many, many of years, and that's being able to win a championship. People tend to forget, once again, that I went to 8 finals in a row. They want to look at the losses I've had, but look at the teams that I've been on and been able to bring those teams to an opportunity to win a championship. Of course, because of my name, just like it would be if I was Kobe or if I was my MJ. The name alone is going to always bring pressure. But are you made for it? And that's what this team is all about. Are you made to rise to the occasion through the adversity? So yes, because of my name and what I stand for, it's going to always bring some kind of eggshell or pressure. But are you made for it? If you are, you're going to win with me on your team.
Well, I mean, those are good words. I have one last question, and I think this is something that a lot of people want to know too. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Definitely would say in 5 years, I will be out the league. The mileage, the years, and, everything that I've gone through over my career. I hope that my sons, shouts out to Bryce and Bronny, they're doing big things right now. Hopefully, I'll be able to have the opportunity to, play with at least Bronny before I go. Just depend on me and this battle with Father Time. I know y'all seen the commercials of me and Father Time battling on Nike and everything, but as of right now, 5 years from now, I see myself probably as an owner. As you know now, I'm the first current billionaire in NBA, and I plan on, of course, using my money wisely. And I definitely want to invest in the team, maybe in Las Vegas. So we should definitely see. But you know me, I'm always stay on the grind. I love what I'm doing with the kids in Ohio. Maybe open up some more schools around the world. Continue to be an influence for this culture, and continue to have my legacy be great as it is right now. And I do want to say, I know I don't do a lot of podcast shows and anything like that, but for me to be on this show right now, it's definitely an honor. And I appreciate you, T-Bone, and for everyone watching the Platform Sports Talk Show.
Well, that's there. You heard it. You heard it from the man himself. 5 years from now, the king will be gone. So we wish him the best. We really do. I mean, right now he's down at the same level as the Orlando Magic, which I never thought I'd see those words. So LeBron, Mr. King James, I really hope that things turn around for you this season and the Lakers make the playoffs, because I think the fans deserve that. And, maybe you'll be an owner. But just remember that Michael Jordan was a great player, and look how that turned out for him.
Now, I have seen, the whole Gatorade, I want to be like Mike, but not in that way at all. But with that being said, I got some royalty music I got to play before I leave. So everyone have a good day. And there we go. LeBron James, Lebanon James came on to the Platform Sports Talk Show. We doing big things, exciting times, and sticking with the NBA real quick. T-Bone, the standings are on the screen. The West Side, Western Conference. Number 1, the Suns. Number 2, the Jazz. Number 3, yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Number 3 are the Sacramento Kings. They are leading. They are third in the Western Conference. they are doing their thing right now. Shouts out to Mike Brown, former head coach of the defending champion Golden State Warriors. The Kings are playing some serious ball right now. Number 4, you have the Clippers. Number 5, the Pelicans. Number 6, the Trailblazers. Then the play-in tournament, 7 through 10. 7th spot, the Nuggets. 8th spot, the Mavericks. 9th spot, the Grizzlies. 10th spot, the Mavericks. And then, as you see right now, or for those on Hot 365 Radio, I have not said Golden State. But don't worry, Golden State fans, they are 2 games behind the 10th spot. So they right there. And then in the East, Boston Celtics, they have the best record in all of basketball. Number 1 seed, of course. Right behind them, number 2, the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 3, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 4, the Pacers. Number 5, the Washington Wizards. Number 6, the Atlanta Hawks. Number 7, Philadelphia 76ers. Number 8, the Toronto Raptors. Number 9, the Knicks. And number 10, the Brooklyn Nets. So that's what's going on right now in the NBA.
That's a change.
Yes, because it's once again, it's very early in the season. And shouts out to Ms. Williams. She says role play is so much fun. Thank you very much, Ms. Williams. We appreciate the love. We just have a fun time doing what we do, saying things that the real athletes probably would love to say, but they just can't say it maybe. Maybe after they retire or something. But that's what the Platform Sports Talk Show is all about. Before we go into football, I want to give a shout out real quick to Coach Brittany Willis from the Ladies Night panel the other night. If you've seen the video on the Platform Sports Talk Show on Facebook or on Twitter or on YouTube and on Instagram, I left the reel. The Platform Sports Talk Show showed up to Clayton High School to support the Lady Greyhounds basketball team. And when I say T-Bone, they destroyed the opposition the other night. I was like, wow.
Who was the opposition? Wait a minute. Before I start cheering, who was the opposition?
Don't worry, it wasn't Normandy. It was Kip High School. So yeah, I just say the Lady Greyhounds, they definitely let them know during their home opener who the top dogs are. They have a very competitive team, and look forward to seeing some more games. And the Platform Sports Talk Show looks forward to going to a lot of different high school games, college games, maybe some NBA games and other sports in the future. So let us know in the comments in regards to where you want to see the Platform Sports Talk Show show up and show out. Leave some dope reels and highlight what we have around the area. Love to do it. So it's all about is showing love, man. That's what this show is all about. That's what I'm all about. And we want to continue to do that and bring that to each and every one of y'all. Shouts out to Mizzou. They just won their 7-0 right now to start the season. The Missouri Tigers men's basketball team, SLU, is winning right now against Paul Brown. If they win tonight, I believe they'll be 6-1. They lost recently against Maryland when they played out of town at a tournament, but they're still a very good team and look forward to some great things. Shouts out to Illini. They're having a great start as well. So high school season is underway. College has already been doing this thing in the NBA. So a lot of basketball be balling. Great time right now if you are a basketball lover. Before we go to football, T-Bone, let everybody know once again where they can find the Platform Sports.
Well, as Jimmy G and even King James himself said, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, because I know a lot of y'all looking out here on the Platform Sports Talk Show on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe, and then make sure that when you subscribe, you hit that
bell,
and that way when we go live, you will be
notified.
Hey, look, we also got Instagram out there at Platform Sports Talk. We got Twitter at 314 Sports Talk. Facebook, the Platform Sports Talk Show. And hey, send us some emails, platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. That's platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. Use any of those to let us know, hey, who do y'all want to hear from on the show? Send out some special guests that y'all want to hear from. Who made an impact on your youthful sports experience? But hey, some of y'all watching right now, because this is a pretty much a holiday night, y'all got a chance to sit here and watch us. Maybe y'all don't always have the time to sit here and watch us live. That's okay, because y'all can check us out on Roku. It comes, we post it afterwards. Y'all can catch the whole show, watch it on the 75-inch big screen that y'all gonna get for Christmas. Black Friday specials going on in a couple days. And hey, for those of y'all that can't watch, it's okay, because you can listen on Hot 365 Radio. It's always hot out there. Hot365radio.com. Check us out. We're there. It's always hot. And hey, first Wednesdays of the month, we got Ladies Night. Check out all the opinions from the panel of ladies that we have. It's always fire. They bring it all the time. We just told you we got a high school basketball coach that's on the panel. So she got opinions. So check us out. Or check them out, I should say. But check us out on the last Wednesday of the month, because we got the Man Cave. That's right, panel of fellas, including myself. You'll be able to hear us the last Wednesday of every month. Like I said earlier, I know Craig Black's going to have some things to say to me next week. Got a little different of opinions. Got some failure to communicate, you know what I mean? But it's okay, because you know what? He's got a chance to say what he's got to say. I got a chance to say what I got to say next week on the Man Cave. And hey, you thought that was it? Next month, I know y'all think of Christmas. But next month, we have the Super Show. That's right. We got Ladies Night and the Man Cave. I don't think this has been done before. Having all of us together. The Super Show coming December 28th. You'll be able to see all of us interacting with each other. How's that going to work? Whose side is who's on? I mean, who's got these same opinions? You don't know. We don't know what anybody's going to say to somebody else. We might have someone who's a New York Jets fan. I don't know. I don't know. That just disgusts me just thinking about it. But anyway, we got Ladies Night, the Man Cave, the Super Show coming December 7th, December 28th. Y'all want to see what we all got to say? Check us out. Tune in. Hit that subscribe. Hit those likes. Go ahead and hit that bell so that you'll see this pop up in your feed as soon as we go live.
Hallelujah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Definitely exciting times for the Platform Sports Talk Show. A few comments from Ms. Williams. She says, interesting in regards to the NBA. Interesting that the East is leading the league. Usually it's the West. It's that shift. You got certain guys moving from the West to the East and stuff like that. And the East is loaded and and very deep. The Mizzou band is also playing in the Macy's parade tomorrow. So shouts out to Mizzou.
I think we're going.
Yeah, about to say T-Bone. I know you're familiar with playing. How many times have you played in the parade when you was in Kentucky State?
A parade or the Thanksgiving Day parade?
Just period.
I mean, I've been playing in parades since I was at Normandy. So
okay.
I mean, I would probably guess about 50 or so if I had to.
Yeah, it ain't nothing to you then to a big dog.
Look, I mean, you know what? This time of year, I can remember marching in Normandy. I remember the Veterans Day parade, and I can remember that used to be a cold one that we used to do there. And then in Kentucky State, we would go and we do a Christmas parade, and it would be at night. We hold those metal instruments, with those gloves that are just for show. They don't protect you from nothing. Those are the ones that stick out as far as I did not look forward to the Christmas parade. But Thanksgiving, and I never did a Thanksgiving Day parade, but I did see Normandy in it the last time I was up here. That was 2017. So, I think we're gonna go check that out in the morning, unless we got some other plans.
Nice. And speaking of Normandy, someone is ready to join in the show and show some more love to Normandy. He's a guy that started the show with me, which I'm very, very thankful for. Him believing in my vision, and as well as he's an incredible DJ. He's DJing with an incredible group of guys that he can explain real quick when he gets on. DJing with guys like DJ Needles, or I think it's James Biko now, but he's a legend here in the Lou, and Sadar's part of the DJ squad. He's doing so many big things, man. I'm very proud of him. And once again, very thankful that he trusted in me from day one. And he is on right now, representing the man cave. Sadal, what's going on, brother?
How's it going, fellas? You know, you had to excuse me tonight. I'm a little under the weather. I feel like Jordan in the flu game. You know what I mean? Couldn't miss coming on to the platform once again. So appreciate being on. Yeah, and considering how sick I am, it looks like I'm gonna have to stay in for for the foreseeable next few days. So that means I'm gonna be missing all the Thanksgiving festivities, man.
Made it right up to the finish line.
So if I could just make a plea, someone out there, please save a brother a plate, a sliver of
A liver.
a sliver of pie, a little dab of peach cobbler, if you will. Give me a little bit of mac and cheese on the side. Could you give a brother a plate? Save a brother a plate. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Please.
Man, you better tell someone to drop something off at your door or something.
Hey man, I'm just kidding, but unless you're gonna do it. unless you're gonna do it
I was about to say if you still under the weather Friday, I got you, but Thursday I'm not cooking.
Well, considering I had one of those little home tests, and it was like, yeah, let me stay my behind in. I got one thing I have to do on Friday night. I'll be DJing, but I'll be staying away in the corner with my mask on. If you know what I mean, if you catch my drift. But other than that, I'll be in the house, man. I felt kind of out of it today. So excuse me. If I'm not as sharp as I should be.
It's all good, man. We appreciate you being on. And yeah, it seems like a few people have been kind of catching that bug recently, man. So definitely prayers up to you and to everyone else who's going through a little bit of that.
And by the way, I saw your little role play, T-Bone, man. Real cute, huh? Yeah. And so, yes, your assumptions are correct. I will not be talking about that team in Northern California, that NFL team in Northern California, on the show. I will not be talking about them tonight. Okay, I'm not talking about that team in Northern California. Okay,
the Raiders.
I'm not. The Raiders are not in Northern California anymore. They're in Las Vegas.
Oh well. I don't know what to tell you, man. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It seems like it still rolls off the tongue. The Oakland Raiders, right. You know how teams go. They may move to Las Vegas right now, but in about 20 years they'll be back home. That's generally the way it goes. Teams go somewhere for about 20 years and then come on back home. Just it's like they got a leash, like almost like reel them in, coach, reel them in.
Well, as long as my team don't take a generation to win a Super Bowl, I'm cool.
They didn't. They won 5 of them within enough time.
A generation ago.
That's 5.
Generation ago. It's like a fairy tale at this point. There's people walking the earth that don't even remember those teams right now. They haven't even seen those teams in a Super Bowl.
You act like the Rams have won Super Bowls in the 2010s. Are you 1999 was a long time ago too. Yes, I just got one. Yes, I know. But don't act like
we played in 4 Super Bowls and won 2 of them.
Wait a minute. You played in 4 Super Bowls? When was that first Super Bowl, Mr. Sadal?
1999.
No. Y'all, the first Rams Super Bowl was not in 19. It was like
I'm talking about since 1994. Since 1990. Since 1994.
Didn't y'all play in 3 Super Bowls?
Since since a team in Northern California last won that wants to bring back glory days like a bygone NFL like veteran player. Back in my day, we used to win 5 Super Bowls.
I'm sorry. I mean, Super Bowls are obviously you want to win Super Bowls, but I mean, we've been to enough Super Bowls, NFC Championship games to say, hey, at least our team is trying. I mean, that's one we could say about the Rams when they were in St. Louis.
Won a Super Bowl in St. Louis.
A long time. We were in middle school, sir. we were freshman year of high school. We were
semantics, man. You can't tell me that your team up Northern California ever won a Super Bowl in this millennium. So please.
Very true. They've been in 2 since then, but it's okay. Hey, look, I'm okay with my team making it to the Super Bowl and giving a good performance. So y'all team won.
We did a good job trying. Yes, that's right. Okay. That's okay. We tried.
Hey, look,
we tried our best.
You're not going to rattle me, sir, because right now it's obvious which team is the better team right now. Okay, we're in another season. One of us is at the top of the division, the other's at the bottom. So,
yeah, kick a brother while he's down. When he's hurting, injured. That's all right.
The hurt dog's hollering. So you gonna get these. Gonna get these today.
Yeah, it's easy to talk about. Regular season exploits. It's nice, very nice.
Well, look, when the 49ers,
but when the rubber meets the road, when it really counts, when it really counts.
You're right. And I hope that when the 49ers play the Rams in the playoffs this year, that we have the opportunity to right the wrong from last year. Now, do you see that happening? You see us?
Now we know. Now, the difference between me and you.
What?
I'm not delusional.
What are you talking about?
I'm not delusional.
What are you talking about? I think that this year, when the 49ers and the Rams face each other in the playoffs, hey, maybe it's the NFC Championship game again, huh?
Yeah, you see, you're going to be lucky that the Rams are not going to make the playoffs this year because you won't have to see Aaron Donald in the playoffs.
I think it's time to run down.
Bring up that little Jimmy G head. Let's talk about him. Yeah.
I think it's time to run down the divisions. Let's start with the NFC West. Let's start with the bottom. The Los Angeles Rams at 3-7, and above them, the Arizona Cardinals, the real former St. Louis team, at 4-7. We've got the Seattle Seahawks at 6-4, but no, don't worry. They're not at the top because they lost to the number 1 team. That's right. Yours and mine, the fantastic, the fabulous San Francisco 49ers coming in at 6-4 and 4-0 in the division. We also have, we have the NFC North. We can start top down for the rest of these because the rest of them don't matter. We got the NFC North, the Vikings at 8-2. We got the Lions at 4-6. The Green Bay Aaron Rodgers led Packers at 4-7. We got the Chicago Bears at 3-8. We got the NFC East. We got those Philadelphia Eagles who really had a tough time. Did y'all catch that this weekend? The Eagles had a tough time against those Indianapolis Colts. So I think that the Colts might be a team to be on the lookout for. We got the Dallas Cowboys at 7-3. The New York Giants is also at 7-3. The Washington, whatever their names are this year, the Commanders, the Commodores.
Oh, my bad.
At 6-5. We have in the NFC South at the top. We just talked about them earlier in the show. Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 5-5. The Atlanta Falcons at 5-6. Hey, who knows what can happen in this division? Because the Saints, they're right behind at 4-7, and we got the Carolina Panthers at 3-8. And I think that their season's pretty much washed. So, anybody want to take the AFC? Because I went over the ones that were most important to me.
You know, I have a long memory. Just remember that. I'm gonna put a feather in this episode. I'm just gonna put a feather, a little bookmark in this episode. But anyway, AFC East, we got the Miami Dolphins at 73 and the Bills at 73. So we have a contest in the AFC East. New England Patriots and the New York Jets are not far behind. They are in the playoff race there. AFC North, we have the Baltimore Ravens holding on so far. Cincinnati Bengals at 6-4. Cleveland Browns and the Steelers are having rough years. AFC South, Titans 7-3 on top. Colts, which is baffling, mind-boggling right now what they're doing. They're 4-6-1. And then you got the Jaguars and you have the Texans. Wow, 1-8. And in the AFC West, of course, Kansas City Chiefs 8-2. And you have the Los Angeles Chargers at 5-5. Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos trailing behind in the AFC West. Really surprising what the Broncos are, at least what they're not doing.
Ooh,
Right.
You know what I want to see now, though. You know what I want to see, Smooth. Bring it up. Bring it up, Smooth. There we go. The playoffs. Oh, let's talk about the playoffs. You know, Sadal, it's okay. My glasses, they fell off. Can you tell me about the NFC playoffs? Because I just can't see it.
You know, yeah, you ain't gonna see that loss coming in the AFC that playoffs either. So I got a seat right next to me, right for you, right on the couch when your team up north gets dusted in the first round, probably of the playoffs. Okay, so just be ready for that.
I'm sorry, I still can't see that the NFC playoff. Can you read it off for the fine folks out there?
I'm gonna read off the AFC since I was just reading off the AFC before. And the 1 seed you have the Kansas City Chiefs right now. They are the best in the AFC right now. If the playoffs ended right here, if the playoffs started right here, I should say, the Chiefs would have that bye, that first round bye. And you have the Bengals and the Dolphins squaring off, 7-2 seeds, 6-3 seeds. You have the Patriots and the Titans, and then in the 5-4 seeds, you'll have the Buffalo Bills, and it looks like the Baltimore Ravens there, AFC.
Well, I tried to give you a chance, but hey, looks like I got my I can see again conveniently. So let's look at the playoffs.
Yeah, Fred Sanford. Yeah, get your box of glasses and put them on.
So you know what? The Eagles right now, they're the number 1 seed, but like I said, they were struggling against those Indianapolis Colts this past week. So they're the number 1 seed. They would get the bye. We also got the 7 seed Seahawks representing the NFC West against the 2nd seed Vikings. That's going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see what happens there. We have let's skip below real quick. We got the Dallas Cowboys at the 5 seed taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 4 seed. Again, very interesting matchup. And now we come to the 6 seed New York Giants taking on the fabulous, fantastic San Francisco 49ers at the number 3 seed. And I don't see the Rams. Is there a typo here? I don't see the Rams. But, I mean, look, I guess sometimes we have a one-hit wonder out there, and it's okay because the San Francisco 49ers will be representing the NFC West, and we also even have the Seahawks representing the NFC West. I mean, those former 2 St. Louis teams just can't quite make it. But, hey, it's okay. That's our NFL playoff picture through week 11. Who knows? Some things can change. That number 1 seed, it's not out of reach. Let's see what happens. Somebody may be able to take it.
I'm going to let you have this today because, hey, teams that can't do anything in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, hey, they celebrate these regular season and these pie in the sky ideas. So you had that. Champions, we don't have to because we got the rings to prove it. Back to you, Smooth.
Yeah.
Man, I have enjoyed this last half an hour. True television gold.
Smooth. This is what I had to deal with for about 25 plus years of having a friendship with this cool T-Bone talking about football.
Hey, that's what it is. A true friendship.
It was even worse when the Rams were like terrible.
Oh, I bet. You won't let you have it. I know.
They'll never. Why are you a fan of the Rams? They'll never win a Super Bowl. They'll never win.
So how was he when they did win in '99?
Very, very quiet.
I mean, that was the end of the
Oh, you got lucky. Oh, that was lucky. You can't do it again. You're lucky.
Remember that the year that they won, it was the end of the dynasty for the 49ers at the time because that's when Steve Young got hurt that year. Steve Young got hurt that year. Jerry Rice went down. Garrison Hurst, I don't think he had even come back from that Atlanta Falcons injury in the playoffs the year before. So many things changed, a lot of turnover on the team, and that just was like, all right, this is the end of the era. This is Jeff Garcia's turn to be the next legacy quarterback of the San Francisco.
And we proceeded to whoop that ass for the next few years.
It was wonderful. A lot more than a few.
It was wonderful.
Whoop that trick.
I'll never forget 1999. See, I have a long memory, T-Bone.
I remember it too.
When the Rams kicked it off in 1999, we had won about 4 games. And the first game, that was luck. Second game, still luck. Third game, it's luck. But wait till you play the 49ers. All right. 49ers roll into town. Isaac Bruce went off. That next day, that was luck. Yeah. That luck carried over. That luck carried over all the way till we went to San Fran and whooped them in San Francisco.
Let's be honest. You can thank the team that took Trent Green out because it was luck. Because y'all were lucky that y'all had Kurt Warner. That y'all didn't even know. Y'all didn't even know he was that guy because he wasn't even the starter of the team.
Listen, that ain't luck because you got Hall of Famers to prove that wasn't luck.
What are you talking about?
Hall of Famers don't need luck to win. Hall of Famers just win because they win. They're winners.
If Trent Green hadn't gotten hurt, you think that the Rams would have been the same team?
Maybe not. Because remember, Trent Green was Mike Martz's guy. He came from Washington, and he knew Mike Martz's system. He could have been talking about him in the Hall of Fame. But I think same result.
Hey, we don't know what could have been. Hey, I'm sure that Drew Bledsoe could have sent the Patriots to the Super Bowl that year too.
Yeah, I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, what if Jimmy G didn't get sacked last year in the NFC Championship game? What if he would have completed passes there? Or even before that, what if he just didn't? If he would have just showed up against the Chiefs, what if that? They could have had 2 Super Bowl wins, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Didn't happen.
Very, very accurate points. We'll see what happens this year when we get to the Super Bowl.
Like I said, I got a feather in this episode, man. I'm gonna remember this.
I'm loving it.
You could take a feather. You could take one of those ears of corn that's on the screen right now. You could do whatever you need to do, but whatever it is, mark this down. Mark this episode.
I got your recliner ready, right here next to me.
There we go.
Recliner. We'll be watching the Super Bowl on the couch.
I want to bring this up because we are at that point where in the season it's time to really find out are these teams for real or not? And I think last week, Week 10 games showed us a lot. You brought up T-Bone how the Colts almost beat the Eagles, but the Eagles are 9-1. I think the biggest shocker of last weekend probably was how the Cowboys dismantled the Vikings pretty bad. And the Vikings at the time were 8-1. Of course, now they're 8-2. Are the Vikings the real deal or not?
I don't think that was too much of a surprise. We're talking about two teams that have pretty good records, and the Vikings had just come off of a week where anything could have happened. So, I think that this week the Cowboys were just able to catch them on a bad week.
Yeah, I think with the Vikings, I think they're the real deal. Of course, their head coach is the former offensive coordinator for what? Who? Yeah. You have a solid running game. He mixes in solid. You have a solid running game with Cook. You have dynamic receivers over there in Minnesota. And as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't make mistakes, and you got a solid defense. So Kirk Cousins, it all comes down to Kirk Cousins. No, if he doesn't make mistakes and just makes his plays and doesn't be a burden for the team, they can go far.
So, two more teams I want to bring up: the New York Giants and the Jets. They both lost games last week. Are we starting to see that both these teams are not the real deal either?
Yeah, the Giants has never been that team, because of the quarterback. I just don't believe in the quarterback, and that goes for the Jets either. It's a matter of time for the Giants start falling here, and they're probably going to start tomorrow when they play the Cowboys. But yeah, their run is just about over. I think they mess around and let the Commodores overtake them.
I think division games are tough. So, when you're looking at the Jets, they just lost to the Patriots. And, I've been tracking that on the show for the past few weeks of when you look at that division, any of those teams could win that division. So, you look at the Patriots, they're trying to get back in the hunt. They want to be at the top, ever since Brady lost, I don't think they've reclaimed that top spot since then. And I think that
No, they haven't. It's been glorious.
But you know what? This is the year that they're showing they're all competitive. So anything can happen. All they are is one game difference right now, and they can be at the top of that division just like that. So I think that that's something to be on the watch for. As far as the Jets, look, again, we're talking about Bill Belichick playing the Jets. It's not unexpected for them to lose a game to him. But I think that they were also in Foxborough, if I'm not mistaken. But
Right.
yeah, and then you have the Giants and Cowboys. That's actually a pretty good game. Again, another division game. You never know. The Giants could wind up trouncing the Cowboys this week, and it'll just seem like it comes out of nowhere. But we talking about teams that play each other pretty regularly compared to other teams that they face in the league.
Well, and give credit, just real quick, to give credit to where credit is due. All due respect to the Bill Belichick, but the Bills are that deal. The Bills are a bad deal this year. I don't see the Patriots overtaking the Bills this year. They may go a little bit, maybe get second place, but they're not going to overtake the Bills. And it might, and you can't count out the Dolphins either. So, yeah.
And I wanted to bring up also wrong slide. The Bengals. I said this before that they may have a slow start, but look at where they are right now, one game behind the Ravens. Is this a team that you see can pretty much have a repeat of what they did last year and surprise some people going to the playoffs?
Yeah, they're a sleeper, just like the inverse of what I talked about with Kirk Cousins. They have a pretty good quarterback over there, Joe Burrow. And he also has a dynamic receiver and something about those LSU wide receivers. they did this same thing last season. They shot the whole AFC last year, went to the Super Bowl. And Joe Burrow's scary, man. He's different. I've been following him since he was with LSU, man, and he's different. He's one of those gamers, man. It's hard to beat him, man. I haven't seen him give up. He's one of those guys that just comes in the clutch, ice water. So you can never count him out. And I would not be surprised if the Bengals is right in the thick of things in the playoffs this year.
I kind of have to disagree, and that's only at looking at their schedule of what they have coming up here, because the Bengals, yeah, they got the Titans, but then right after that they got the Chiefs, then they got the Browns, but then they got the Buccaneers and the Patriots and the Bills, and they finish off the season against the Ravens. I don't see them making the playoffs.
You just said the Chiefs and the Bills. I agree with you on there, but the Buccaneers, they can beat the Buccaneers. They can beat the Patriots. I could see them beating them. Browns, of course, yeah. So and even then, you seen what happened to teams any given Sunday, man.
All I'm saying is that, I'm looking here and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tough games that they have left in the season. I'm not saying that they're going to lose all those games, but I'm saying they're going to lose some of those games. And that's probably what's going to be the difference between them making the playoffs and not making the playoffs.
I hate to say this. I hate to say this corny phrase, but I guess I got a history of this. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And Joe Burrow's tough, man. He's tough. He's a competitor, man. When it comes down to it, you can't count him out. And yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. And something that I want to bring up too, something that I have not felt like this in a long time. But all 3 games tomorrow for Thanksgiving should actually be some good games to watch. Buffalo versus Detroit, and how Detroit Lions are playing recently. The head coach, how he is, but the Lions, I believe they won what is that 2-3 in a row now, I believe. But they're playing some inspiring football. Dan Campbell, I believe, is the head coach.
Yeah, Dan Campbell.
Yeah, they're playing some great football. And of course, the Bills. Then Cowboys and Giants. That should be an entertaining game. I don't see it being like a snooze fest blowout or whatever. I think that's going to be 2 great games right there. Then the last game, the Patriots at the Vikings. That all 3 games should be pretty interesting to watch, and I look forward to it because usually you have those maybe 1 or 2. Okay, I'll just eat some food because there ain't nothing going on TV. Even though the football game is on. But I think all 3 games have an opportunity to be 3 great games.
Look, if the Patriots beat the Vikings, they're going to win that division. That's my prediction.
I still don't see it. It's the Bills. Right. The Bills are the Bills, man. Bills are the Bills.
The Bills aren't even at the top of the division right now.
I'm just telling you, man. I've seen the Bills. They have a complete team. They ran into some bad luck a couple of games, man. It ain't like they got blown out in all those losses.
Right, but here's where you gotta see the difference. The difference comes down to when you look at all these teams, there's 1 game separating all of these teams from each other. The problem that the Bills have is that they are 0-2 in their division. The Patriots are 2-1. Those division games are going to matter when it gets down to the end of the season because they could all finish with a relatively same record like they are right now. And if that's the case, the Patriots are going to edge them out just like that.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna settle this argument. Pound for pound, if you're looking at roster against roster, Patriots roster against the Bills roster, and we can go line by line, quarterback, wide receivers, running backs, all the way down the line, you're gonna pick Bills. I guarantee you. The roster is there. They got the team. the Patriots, they're a scrappy bunch, but they're not the Bills. You can't compare Jared Allen to Jones. You can't.
Well, here's the remaining Patriots schedule. The Patriots have the Vikings, the Bills, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Bills. That's who they have left. So again, that last game at the end of the season, that's going to matter. The Bills have the Lions, who we just talked about, have won 2 in a row. They got the Patriots. They have the Jets. They have the Dolphins. They have the Bears, the Bengals, and the Patriots. I think between the two, that the Bills have the tougher schedule.
Really? The Bears, no, they don't. You're looking at the wrong schedule, man.
All right, I'm just saying.
I see when you name those teams, I see the Patriots actually having the tougher schedule.
I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. The Bills have 5 teams that they're facing with winning records right now. The Patriots have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Well, they both have the same amount of winning records that they're facing, but I don't know.
Teams, man, the quality of the teams, man.
That Cardinals and Raiders are the weakest teams that the Patriots face, and the Bills, the weakest teams that they face. I think we just talked about were the Bears and the Lions. I mean, and like I said, the Lions are on the winning streak, so I don't know. Mark this down. Let's see who's right when we get to the end of the season, though.
I'm excited in my Tim Tebow voice.
Get your popcorn ready. I'm gonna use your little catchphrase. Get your popcorn ready because it's gonna be good.
Yes, sir. Just like this show is tonight. For those watching, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Let's go into more NFL talk. The NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame announcement has been put out in regards to the semifinalists. You have about a good 25 or so players, a few new guys who you see on the right side of your screen, guys like DeMarcus Ware, Darrell Revis, Andre Johnson, Steve Smith. They are the new guys that have been put into the Hall of Fame semifinalist list, along with a slew of other guys. I've asked T-Bone and Sadal to give me their 5 guys who they feel will go into the Hall of Fame next year. So I'll go ahead and start off with mine, and then we'll go with T-Bone and then Sadal. So the 5 who I had to be a homer because I feel like this guy should have been in now over the last couple of years. But I definitely feel that Torrey Holt should be in this year. I have Darrell Revis being a first-year inductee into the Hall of Fame. I have offensive lineman, played many years for the Cleveland Browns, Joe Thomas. I have him going in. A guy here that I feel, T-Bone, you may agree with as well. He played during the time frame. He played with the Rams. He played in a time where he was a beast, but he didn't get all the recognition like the Ray Lewises and the Patrick Willis and et cetera. But he's been steady. He always played, and he was a force. And that was London Fletcher. I feel like he should get in. And then last on the list, it was very tough. But because I feel that he's kind of like the David Ortiz of NFL. He was in a position that, is not used awfully, in regards to being very versatile or whatever. But he made that position popular. He transcended that position. And when you hear about kick returners and punt returners, you cannot go without mentioning this guy's name, and that's Devin Hester. Played many years, of course, for the Chicago Bears. So I have Torrey Holt, Darrell Revis, Joe Thomas, London Fletcher, and Devin Hester. Now, mind you, the reason why I say 5 because 5 guys from this list on your screen will be chosen, as winners of the 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame. T-Bone.
Can I just say, that with this list, there's a name that's not on this list, and I don't know if he's even eligible now or would even get the votes. But can I just say that Steve McMichaels should be a Hall of Famer from the Bears? Obviously, this has a wrestling tie into it, but I mean, he was on that '85 Bears team. I was checking it out. One of his teammates actually went into the NFL, and Steve McMichaels actually holds. He may not hold the same records that he did actually during the time when he was playing, but I mean, he's up there on the list. You know what I mean? People had to surpass him to break some of those records. So I just wanted to just give a quick honorable mention because for right now, for those of y'all that don't know, his isn't all that great right now.
So he would be considered into the Veterans Committee choice.
Yeah, but it's just amazing to me that he didn't make it in during his time, during his prime eligibility seasons. But as far as this list here goes, I think the first name that's going to come to mind. Do y'all know what it's going to be? Come on, y'all should know. Y'all should know who the
Patrick
Willis.
Willis.
Patrick Willis. This guy was a beast during his time. I think he should absolutely make it. This isn't his first time, right? The ones highlighted in white that's their first time, right?
Correct.
Okay. So look, he's not going to be a first ballot, but I think that he should go in himself. Another name that I'm going to say, because I respect his time, I'm going to say Torrey Holt. And, also because of St. Louis, I don't necessarily have to like the Rams, but I can respect the players and respect what they did for the community too. London Fletcher, as you said, Smoooth. So that's 3. And I mean, here's the thing: as far as wide receivers, we got a lot of wide receivers on this list, and we know how that logjam happens. They're just not going to go in. But let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else we got. Man, James Harrison sticks out a little bit to me. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, former Pittsburgh Steeler during the time when that defense was the thing.
Correct.
I mean, that he sticks out. And another one. Let's see. It's
another one.
I did hear Joe Thomas's name a lot, but obviously in his position, they don't get a lot of attention, as far as being, talked about for what they do, because they're basically support, but they're important. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna. This was a tough one. You know what? I'm gonna say put two wide receivers in there. Put Reggie Wayne in there for his time with the Colts.
Wow.
Get him out of that log jam.
So tell me your 5 again.
5 were Patrick Willis, Torrey Holt, James Harrison, London Fletcher, and Reggie Wayne.
All right, T-Bone. I'm sorry, sit off.
All right. So when I was looking at this, I always thought about people like Chris Berman or John Madden, what they said about the Hall of Fame. The people in the Hall of Fame are usually those players or professionals or people around the game who you cannot write a story about the NFL without those guys. All right. So with that in mind, first ballot Hall of Famer, I would say DeMarcus Ware. This guy, if you look at the numbers, his sack numbers were very consistent over his whole career. Whether it been from the Cowboys or the Broncos, he was always up there in either top in the league or right at the lead leader in sacks. So DeMarcus Ware, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but DeMarcus Ware, I think should be a first ballot Hall of Famer there. The second guy I would consider the second greatest cornerback in to ever play the game, Darrell Revis. Second only to, of course, Deion Sanders. Revis Island. I mean, he was that true shutdown corner. Of course, Deion Sanders coined was the reason why that phrase was coined. But Darrell Revis was a true shutdown corner. You did not throw his way. He should be another first ballot Hall of Famer. The third guy, I would say, because of his position and where he played, the Cleveland Browns, Joe Thomas. If you go look up Joe Thomas's stats, the amount of sacks he did not give up, the amount of pancake blocks that he had, it was staggering. And he did it over a long period of time, very consistent. I don't think he missed a lot of games, if any at all. I don't know. So he was consistent and good for a long time. Joe Thomas should be in there. Fourth guy, of course, I'm gonna be a homer, as well. Torrey Holt. You cannot write a story about the greatest show on turf without Torrey Holt. All of his counterparts have pretty much gone in. From your Kurt Warners to Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Orlando Pace, they've all gone in. He's the last person. You talk about the greatest show on turf, Torrey Holt should definitely be in. And this guy, the last guy, because of his position, people don't really respect him. But he's almost like the Deion Sanders of kick returners, Devin Hester. You do not want to kick it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coaches game plan. They went into the game. Usually the kickoff is like, oh, you just kick it off and let's play. Not with Devin Hester. No, we got to sit down and plan. Like, wait a minute now. We can't let this man get the ball, right? The game plan going into the Super Bowl, I forget which number it was. It was between the Colts and the Bears. Their game plan going in was, okay, do not kick it to Devin Hester. What did they do on the opening kickoff? They kicked it to Devin Hester. What did Devin Hester do? He took it to the house. The first and only time the opening kickoff was taken to the house. And I think he holds the record for most punt and kick return touchdowns. So, and he changed the game. He revolutionized that position. We're bringing in punters and kickers into the Hall of Fame. It's only right for the first ever kick returner to be Devin Hester. It's long overdue. He should be in there. That's my 5.
Love it, man. Great top 5. Hope y'all have enjoyed that as well. So we had the baseball Hall of Fame earlier in regards to these guys here on your screen. Guys,
if I can chime in here real quick.
Yes, sir.
I kind of saw this and I wanted to jump in. I think Omar Vizquel should be in. How many players should be that's just like the top 75%, right?
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
my opinion, Omar Vizquel. Omar Vizquel is one of the great fielders of all time. He should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why why he's not in there. It's only a matter of time for him. Scott Rowland, of course, he had about 70%. I think he should be in there. One of the great defensive third basemen of all time there. Andrew Jones is another guy that people really don't give a lot of credit to, but he had a lot of solid years in Atlanta and other places. Jeff Kent as well, and I think those names when I was looking at it, all those names definitely should be in the Hall of Fame. And of course, I left out key players like Manny Ramirez and Alex Rodriguez because of steroids. I'm a strong believer of you take steroids, you don't get in. Sorry. But yeah, those are my picks.
Yeah, and with baseball, is so much harder to get in because of you got to have that 75%, and higher. to get inducted, and it really just knocks off a lot of people from getting in all at the same time. You know, you can have your years where one time maybe 3 guys, one year maybe one guy, or I think it was a few years ago that we had no guys in. It was like the Veterans Committee, list, whatever. So
Yeah.
baseball, I wish they would change their rules around in regards to how they do things. One thing that I noticed that I didn't like, it was one year how someone didn't even vote anyone that was on the ballot. And it's like, if you're doing that, you shouldn't even be a voter.
Yeah,
you
like
know what I'm saying?
yeah, what really burned me up one year. The year Ken Griffey Jr. got in, he should have been a unanimous pick for,
Right.
and it was one person that didn't even add him on the ballot. Why? Because he had some kind of a rule that if you're first ballot, we don't pick you. It's stupid.
Right.
He should have been unanimous. It's with, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. You know, scrap that whole system. What they're doing, man.
Yeah, I feel like it should be at least like, 5 guys that should get in each year, something like that. Don't just have it be a 75% and higher and whatever, because you
Or
can
lower
have
the
just one
percentage or something. I don't know.
something, but we'll see what's happening. So once again, great job with the baseball Hall of Fame announcement and the nominees, and for the NFL. Let's get right into. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say quick honorable mention to Ricky Waters, former San Francisco 49er back in the day. So that's it. That's it.
I think Ricky Waters and like players like you mentioned, Ricky Waters. I think I put them in the category of like a Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham. They just like they were notable players of their day, but they just something about them they just missed.
I feel you on that.
I mean, he was a 5-time Pro Bowler from 92 all the way through 96.
I think the biggest knock on Ricky Waters was that radio interview he had back in the day, where I think the question was, would you fight hard for your team or something? And he had the famous saying, for who, for what? And that's kind of like turned a lot of people off when he said that.
And how much should off the field stuff affect what you do on the field?
It should not. It should not. And I'm gonna, because it's like somebody like I gotta say this. I'm gonna be fair. T.O. Like he should have been first ballot Hall of Famer, but because of his perceived reputation in the locker room, it was somehow slighted. He was somehow slighted for some odd reason. He never got in trouble with the law. He never used any, like, caught with a prostitute or using drugs or anything like that. But yet, because he was, he had like an outspoken, outgoing personality, different personality, he was knocked for it. And I think that was wrong. I think he hurt a lot of egos of the sports writers, and got slighted there.
I would always go with the lawyerly type answer of it depends, because if you're talking about a player like you just said with T.O., where it was like, oh, well, they just don't like him because he's outspoken, but when he's on the field, he does what he's supposed to do. That's one thing. When you're talking about people that actually like cause criminal harm and stuff like that, wind up being suspended for real life reasons,
like Lawrence Taylor.
Well, yeah, but wait, okay, so I don't remember this. Was that during the time he played though?
Yes, he got suspended for drugs a couple times.
Okay,
and he was caught with underage.
Oh well, hey. Anyway,
yeah, but he's in the Hall of Fame.
But I mean, like, okay, oh man, I can't remember why.
I threw you off.
I can't remember why
It depends. It depends.
in my mind, but the Ravens player who got in trouble with the a few
Ray
years
Lewis.
ago.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. Yeah. Okay, so let's say that he was a Hall of Fame caliber player. You can't put him in, especially now. You can't put him in the Hall of Fame if he was a Hall of Famer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just not going to fly because you have to kind of take a stance against that. That's kind of like there's kind of morality clause type stuff that they should have versus, well, we just didn't like you because you weren't nice to us. Well, that's got nothing to do with morals. That has nothing to do with the league reputation. That just means that he just wasn't the best coworker or he didn't work well with you all. But that didn't mean that he was like, oh, a bad player, because again, I think a player represents themselves on the field and, don't do some stuff that's going to get the whole league, negated with your action.
So according to what you just said, if he continues on his trajectory, on the field, Tyreek Hill shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not going to argue.
I'm just saying it's slippery slope,
It's
tough. It's tough. I don't have any opinion either way.
Let me see. We have a comment here. Ms. Williams says a number of classic heroes, and in quotes, had questionable actions off the field. Joe Namath and Babe Ruth come to mind.
Yep, Ty Cobb was well. Ty Cobb was a known racist.
Well, I was about to say, if you look at the time period that we're talking about, Babe Ruth and Joe Namath, it's not like, people viewed athletes in a different way where they weren't like holding them accountable for these off. It was a time period where people were like celebrating the actions that these people did, off the field, like hero type. Like now we look at them like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that? Like, no, don't. I don't know.
And question: wasn't Ray Lewis charged with murder?
He was charged, but he wasn't convicted.
Right.
Okay.
Which again, that comes down to a difference. Anybody can be charged for a crime, but once you're convicted and there's enough evidence to say, nah, you did that. Like that's what I'm saying is like we gotta draw the line somewhere.
Like Lawrence Taylor.
Again, we talking about a different era of time though. We can't judge the way that people
underage drugs. I mean, he ain't like he used steroids. He used cocaine, man. Yeah.
Right, but we like I said, we can't judge what the thoughts of the people who were voting for the Hall of Fame back in what was it, probably 95, 96? Ended in 95, so 99 maybe.
Yeah, like 97, 98, something like that.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's tough, man.
We just gotta I think in this day and age, we just gotta be better and understand, like, okay.
It's like the Pete Rose argument. I mean, should he be in the Hall of Fame? Because, he didn't on the field, he was great. He didn't, cheat on the field, but he gambled as a coach.
On his own team.
And he was a coach. He was a coach, though. But as a player, he didn't gamble.
He has what happens on the front end of the game, though. Either way,
I don't know.
I think the case with Pete Rose is people look at him and say, "Man, just let this old man have his time." That's what people are looking at because we're so.
Did you see? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that we're so far removed from what he did that people just look at him and see a sympathetic figure because he's older, and they're like, "Well, what's the big deal?" Because if you look at how gambling's viewed now, I mean, it's not as bad as it was probably viewed, years ago in the common fans' eyes. But I mean, I think that look, if he did something wrong, if that's the stance that they're taking, as long as they're consistent with the stance moving forward, that's all that I would say. Like, you can't let someone else do it and then put him in, and they're like, well, what about Pete Rose? Like,
yeah, but you know what? But then you just said it. Then you become hypocrites, right? Because now you're promoting and your commercials, all of these gambling sites and things to, for the fans to gamble. But oh no, you can't do it.
Well, it's like
fantasy football teams, fantasy baseball teams.
they're not telling the coaches to join in on this. Like, it'd be different if they were like, "Hey,
well, you got it's not gambling. It's not gambling, but you have these fantasy teams that active players are on. Like you had Kyle Brady, I think, had himself on one of the teams, and he didn't even have himself on the roster one week when he was playing. So I mean, it's just. But I wanted to say that go back and read Pete Rose's letter that he just recently sent to Rob Manfred, pleading to reconsider him for the Hall of Fame. It's pretty interesting. And a lot of people after reading it like, man, let the old man in. But yeah, go back and at your leisure and read that.
I think that'll happen with guys like McGuire and Clemens and all those guys.
They actually started a special wing in the Hall of Fame that they're considering what they call, I forget, something that it's not. They didn't call it the steroid era. They call it the era of the 2099, 2000 something. That has a lot of those players on the ballot. The Barry Bondses, Roger Clemens, and all these players on the ballot. I'm not sure if it's ratified or what they're going to do, but it's an idea. It's a real idea out there. And these era type players, and they're going to have a special wing of the Hall of Fame to consider those type of players. And it's very controversial. Very controversial.
They should reconstruct the whole Hall of Fame if they're going to do something like that. Let's call this the pre-Jackie Robinson era, and put all those players back there in a specific category. But yeah, I mean, I just think I don't see the issue with doing something like that, because I mean, look, we can say what we think of the guys for using steroids or whatever, but here's the deal. The league let them play those games while they knew what was going on. So that's just on everybody in the league at that point. Those players shouldn't be punished any more than what they were punished on the field for when they got, punished at the, got in trouble, got popped with them.
Yeah, I still would disagree that, your Hall of Fame means that you go in with your own merits. You didn't have any help, didn't have any assistance with anything. You did it because you had skills. You had skills, real skills, and talents to do it.
You just redefined your own definition, because you just said that the Hall of Fame should be, you cannot tell the story of baseball without these players in it. Can you tell the story of baseball without Roger Clemens, without Barry Bonds, without Mark McGuire, without Sammy Sosa? You gonna tell that story? Because it seems like that story's missing a few chapters.
Yeah, but you know what? You also need to tell the story of the steroid era. If you're gonna let these guys in, tell the whole story. Yes. So tell the story of why you have a separate wing for these players like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. And if you're gonna let them in, tell the whole story. These players are in this separate wing because of this.
And they were great. And it was the time where the most money was coming into the sport as far as the fans.
But that's the thing. I don't think the league is ready to tell that story.
We made a lot of money off these players using steroids, but we wanted to act like we have high morals. So we let them play these games. We let these records be broken that people held. But now we're going to say on the back end, well, now that we've recovered after the 94 strike, guys, we don't want you in our Hall of Fame. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Man, great.
Tell the whole story.
Great conversations. Let's see. Miss Williams says, what about the players who use steroids but didn't perform well? I mean, really, if they didn't perform well, that's pretty much, you're not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
What about the players that were using amphetamines? Do they get another wing?
Amphetamines wasn't as powerful as steroids, though.
Oh, wait. Now you're changing. Now you move the goalposts or the fence, if you will. First, you say it's on their own merit with their own abilities. Now you're saying, well, it's not as powerful. Well, what are we talking about? A 10% increase? A 20% increase of their abilities? we're still talking about an increase of their abilities that were not of their own ability.
It altered their bodies.
And what did amphetamines do?
Altered their moods. It made you feel like you wasn't tired.
So it kept them up. It kept it.
It put like steroids put muscle on your body. It made you more stronger.
So what you're talking about is these guys were able to pitch faster, hit harder, but we're talking about
and recover better.
And recover better. But what we're talking about with amphetamines, we're talking about players being able to focus, which means it may not be the home run. That may be the difference between a strikeout and a single, a strikeout and a double. They didn't have to have mass that was put on them. If your body is able to focus better, then you're able to see clear. You're able to hit. That's the difference between a pitcher throwing a strike and a ball or a wild pitch, right? I mean, we're just talking about the same principle, just in a different form. Either they're doing it on their own abilities or they're not. We can't just say, well, steroids increases you by 80% and an amphetamine increases your abilities by 10%. Well, an increase is an increase. Just saying.
Quiet on the set. All right, but fella, let's go ahead and transition real quick to college football, as the college football playoff rankings are about to be shown on the screen, because college football, the Dogs only play where?
I was gonna say something nice about you all. What I'm thankful for. I don't know if I'm gonna save my comments.
All right. College football playoff rankings. The top four has not changed, but there are some movers and shakers below. 5 now is LSU. So they like right there on the hunt. Number 6, USC, 7, Alabama, 8, Clemson, 9, Oregon, 10, Tennessee. They dropped down and lost their starting quarterback for the rest of the year. And number 11, Penn State. Your thoughts on the college football rankings and the moving and shaking that happened after this past week, Sadal?
I love the parity. You still see a SEC heavy ranking, which a lot of people in the Big 10 and the Big 12 really take offense to. But those are the rankings. That's what is the system we have right now. It's really going to come down to Michigan and Ohio State. How that's going to shake out. They are in the Big 10. So do you put LSU over them? You put Alabama over them. They're 7th. They got 2 losses though. So it's going to be interesting. It's interesting what they're going to do, or are they going to leave them in the top 4? I don't know. It's going to be, I like it. I like the parody. Going to be really interesting these last few weeks. But I think you keep the winner of the Ohio State Michigan game in there, and then whatever happens, depending on what happens, you consider LSU and the USC. And I wouldn't knock USC because they're in the Pac-12. But I would not. I would think it would be a travesty if you put Alabama in the top 4. They got 2 losses.
Right.
I would rather see LSU or USC get that last spot, and if everything else holds up.
I mean, you would think that USC has the best shot to get up there because the team that they're facing has a stronger record, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. USC has Notre Dame. So Notre Dame has an 8-3 record. So, and both Alabama and LSU, I believe they're facing losing teams. So Texas A&M is at 4-7. They're against LSU, and Alabama's against Auburn, which is at 5-6. So if UFC wins, you would think that they would be the one that would go ahead and get elevated up there over LSU.
And to that point, a lot of proponents for USC point this out. Even though they're in the Pac-12, they did beat a Notre Dame team that had a winning record. So you can't totally knock them because of the conference that they're in.
I mean, they're
So
beating.
you got to give them a shot.
The other ones aren't facing ranked teams, so that should tell you, that should be it right there.
Right. And so that's an argument in favor of USC getting into the top 4 if things shake up.
Now, if Alabama gets in there, we know the fix is in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they lost 2 games. Come on, man. You can't do it. You just can't get them in. If like I said, if everything shakes up and everybody wins out. Well, one is not going to win out because they're playing against each other, but you know what I mean.
But here's a question though: should that one loss between Michigan and Ohio State be enough to put them out of the top 4? Really?
No, because you have LSU. LSU's in the SEC.
But
that's what I say. And in SEC, they got the stronger conference.
But LSU has 2 losses.
Do they have 2 losses?
LSU has 2 losses.
Okay.
Alabama has 2 losses. USC has 1 loss. But I mean, if we're talking about
now you bring up a good point because I didn't know that LSU had 2 losses. So, I mean, shoot. Considering that new information, I don't think you take those 2 out of the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, if
it's supposed right, I'm about to say the same thing. It depends on if the game is like a last-minute drive and, let's say Michigan won by a last-minute drive or whatever, and it was a close game, then you should definitely consider both teams remaining in the top 4. If it's a blowout or, a certain, margin of victory by one of the other teams, then you got to go down. But you think about this too, is that LSU, one of Alabama's losses was to LSU. So there should be no way.
There's no way.
Jump
and then just for the case for USC here, they only got 1 loss. So if you have a close game with Ohio State and Michigan, and you're looking at USC as sitting there with 1 loss, man, it'd be tough to not include them in the top 4.
I don't know.
That's why it's time for expansion. That's why it's time for expansion, though.
Yeah.
But see, you know what though? That's one of those things that if you do that expansion, everybody talks about players. I'm sure again next week on the Man Cave we'll hear more about this. But you asking a lot of the players to be going into, you're going to be going well into January at that point if you do that. And I don't know if you're encroaching on a lot of time because now you're encroaching into basketball season. I don't know if that's really going to.
It's already been done. It's already been. It's already happening right now with the Division II teams. They have a full out tournament. So it's already happening. You can't say that, what makes them, different from the FCS. The FCS, they have more talent. Matter of fact, so I mean, I would think they can do it because it's already done. So I don't believe that argument.
I mean, that's a fair point. I hadn't checked the seen what the other ones were doing, so that's a fair point. But I don't know. I can already tell that there'd be a lot of hate headlines if they do expand it for Division I. I can tell you that.
So we have 10 minutes left till we go ahead and shut down. So T-Bone, why don't you go ahead and give us your T-Bone top 3 in regards to wrestling related?
I mean, top 3. I mean, I guess the top 1 would be MJF won the world title. I didn't exactly see the episode. I had it on in the background, but I wasn't really watching it. So see what the follow up is with that. But I mean, look, he's a guy who over the next so many years should be a top guy that people should know and hear about. I think that's a pretty big thing. Any thoughts on MJF?
I haven't followed AEW that much to really have an opinion on him. I know that he's been around and been, definitely a guy you have been talking about, for quite some time, and he finally getting his moment. So looks like he's great with the promos and everything, and hopefully he's a guy that can definitely elevate AEW to new heights.
No, he won't. But that's nothing against him. It's the company. But I mean, look, let's be honest. I mean, this company had what was probably the biggest free agent out there available, right? That isn't named Dwayne Johnson or John Cena. They had the biggest guy that could come in there and help turn this company around, and their egos got in the way, and just messed that whole situation up. Just not a well-run business. But anyway, moving on to some different things. Survivor Series, War Games is coming up. I always like the War Games matches, and now it's making the first time on a major WWE pay-per-view, or premium live event these days is what they call it. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing this War Games match. You got the Bloodline against the Brawling Brutes and Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. Have y'all been following up on that, seeing anything? Any thoughts on who y'all think might win that?
I'm excited for it. I still feel like the Bloodline will find a way to win, but I feel like it'll be definitely a great match. Look forward to it, especially like you said, being on a huge platform like Survivor Series. Looking forward to seeing these guys get it in. Looking forward to the ladies match. So it sounds like it's a very high possibility that Becky Lynch may be coming back as well. So that'll be a great addition for that match. So I just don't have any complaints about how things have been ran. I know we had Triple H on the show last week and all things that he said on the show. So I'm looking forward to Survivor Series.
You know what? I know that the rumors are about Becky Lynch, but you know who I actually thought the fifth person might be on that team? I actually thought it might be, hey, look at that. She finally watched the HBCW match and enjoyed it. That commentator, he's awesome, isn't he? Anyway, thank you so much for checking that out. I really appreciate everybody who's checked out those videos. I mean, lots of views have been coming in, more than I probably thought were going to come in. So I'm so happy, and thank you so much for at least supporting with that. But I actually thought the fifth person on the team was going to be Trish Stratus. Well, who said that? Who said that?
I said that.
Oh, wait a minute. The reason why, do you remember a few months ago she was on Raw?
Yeah.
And she was on Raw a few months ago. She had a confrontation with Bayley, and she was like, I can show you at any time who I am. I don't think that would be bad. We're not talking about it. We're not exactly talking about a technical wrestling match here.
Right.
And so that type of match,
that kind of match.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's not like, again, I never really had a problem with Trish because at the time, she was more of the serious wrestler comparatively to her peers. It's not like she was Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler and Kelly and that type. I mean,
right. She was that deal for real.
Huh?
Y'all said she was that deal for real.
Yeah, I mean, she was out there, at least trying to do something professional, and it was just at the time that's just not what they wanted. So it's not like she could really do it. But I think that she has, especially like I said, this type of match, this type of brawl, street fight, she's fine. She could do it. But the problem I have with Becky being that fifth person is, it's almost like when she's there too much. And that's crazy to think about because she missed like a whole year, right? Like she missed a year, she came back, and it was like, man, you could go away. It's nothing against her. It's just once they put her or somebody like Charlotte on there, it's like they get stuck in a loop where they don't know how to do anything else and feature anybody else on the show. So I would like Trish because again, that would be a one-time thing. She'd be in and out and just carry on with a new story.
All right, we got about 4 minutes left. Give us your number 3.
Did I have a number 3?
Oh, if not, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, not much going on these days with wrestling. Punk has been out there saying some stuff on some MMA stuff that he's been kind of making some jokes about what happened. So we'll see what happens. And I still think the CM Punk will wind up facing Stone Cold Steve Austin at the next WrestleMania. So,
Uh-oh.
Oh, look, he wasn't upset about that one. Yeah, look. He was like, well, wait a minute.
Well, with our show ending very soon, everyone has given their thanks to what are they thankful for over the holiday season. So, Sadal, go ahead and give us, what are you thankful for?
Well, I'm thankful for a lot of the simple things, roof over my head, food to eat, job and everything. But I'm so incredibly blessed to be able to do the things that I love to do, which is DJ and in getting the real estate and be independent. But I'm really thankful for his family. And of course my blood family is always close to me, but it's the family right here, the 2 guys here on this screen. Really thankful for you all. We really have some good brothers around me that we've known each other for years, some of me decades. So I consider you 2 my brothers. Love you guys. Appreciate you.
Right back at you, man.
Man, you don't bring a tear. You go, hey, look, I told you I had it, Smooth. I told you I had it. Right there. There it is. Scott Rowland with the Phillies back in the day. And shouts out to Coach Prime. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Prime over here. Can't even get it right.
There you go.
Shouts out to Prime back there with the Braves back then. Hey, please don't leave, Prime. Please don't leave.
That gonna be saved for next week's show. So definitely stay tuned, because platform along with
T-Bone
and right below
and Sadal.
Once again, next week the Man Cave will be back. Look forward to it. Stan will be leading the charge, and we'll have a special guest as well. So definitely stay tuned for the Man Cave. Once again, I am your boy Smooth, along with T-Bone and Sadal, the Platform Sports Talk Show. Ms. Williams, yes, you will see us next week. Keep them likes, them shares going. Show us love in the club. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Eat some great food. Someone delivers some food to Sadal so he can be good to go.
Please, man. Give me a plate.
And we are out of here.
Give me a plate.
Platform Sports Talk Show. Be out here.
I'm for real, man. Give me a plate.